Come on, you know the deal by now. Although, we do have coffee this morning as well. So, this morning we are heading to film some reels. And then I'm going to go train myself at my gym. It just means we got to be a little bit more prepared and a little bit earlier start to the day than usual. But that's not an issue. Drinks sorted. Piece of bread, bit of honey, little sprinkle of salt. That at the moment is my favourite, I say pre-gym snack. Gym isn't going to be for a couple of hours yet, but it's more of a pre-morning, get me up starter, tastes amazing. And well, at this stage it's just a little treat, which is quite sad to say, but you know, is what it is. So finally, last night I sorted myself out, took all of 3 minutes, a Greek yogurt bowl. So literally Greek yogurt, a little sprinkle of cinnamon, some honey and some dates. So that is our pre-gym meal that's going to come with us once we finish filming. So now we are all sorted. This place is never, ever, ever warm in here in the mornings, which makes it fun. But it is a great place for filming because it's empty. It's a rugby club gym, which means it's similar to like a station gym in many, many ways. And the accuracy of what I can get across here is much better. Also, I'm uninterrupted for the best part. And yeah, it just gives me more freedom to treat it a bit like a studio. So I'm going to head to my gym now, which is back towards home. This gym doesn't really have everything that I need in my current programme, so unfortunately it means I've got to travel a bit. Although to be fair, my gym is just down the road from me, but this is the place that's a bit further out. So yeah, let's go to the Mackey's drive-through. I know, fucking what's he doing? But get a nice black muck coffee for £1.39 or whatever ridiculously cheap cost it is. And it's quite good.
What can I get for you?
Can I please get a black coffee?
Yeah.
And that's it, thank you.
No problem, thank you.
Cheers. Is there any chance I could get a spoon? Sorry, random window. Yeah, thank you. Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Now, the very first thing we need to do is let this cool down because nothing comes hotter than a McDonald's coffee. Part of me wishes I went for a latte. How do I? Now that's an issue. I just paid and bought for a black coffee. You must have heard me just say black coffee.
A black coffee.
And what I've been given is... that smells incredible. And do you know what? I'm going to commit to it. No. When life throws you toffee lattes, you simply edit your daily calories in your MyFitnessPal app. So let's start from the beginning. So usually when I track my food, which I advise anyone who does this to do, I track a day ahead. So last night I was sat on the sofa and I was planning what I was going to have today. And this makes it so much easier for me to like basically just follow a plan then of what I got to do today. So last night I threw together a quick bowl of Greek yogurt with, as I said, cinnamon and bits. And I've tracked all that, so I know exactly where I am with things. And to be honest, I've got the whole day planned down to the last calorie. That makes things easy on the whole. However, it doesn't mean we can't be flexible. So now we've been given a toffee latte instead of a black coffee. You know, we can edit things around. We can move. Essentially, what I had planned in was a nice meringue nest with, I think, like a high protein yogurt pouch on top and stuff for pudding, essentially. It gave me a nice little thing to look forward to today. But, you know, we've had a curveball thrown our way, so we're going to have our pudding for breakfast, it seems, before we go to the gym. And that's fine. That's fine. So that is the way that is. And again, this is what happens on shift. We have the best of plans, but things don't always go to plan. So we've got to be able to adapt. And just remembering the fact you're after a bit of a goal sometimes is really useful. So I'm going to enjoy this a minute and then we'll get back to our heart-to-heart. Oh, that Greek yogurt bowl was incredible. And that, do you know what? For all its benefits, Greek yogurt just fills you up. Same with skyr. I don't want anything else to eat now. I'm going to sit and enjoy my unplanned toffee latte though. That is a winner. It is key to keep finding things that inspire you and things that will push you on, because it gets hard and the demons, they come quickly and they come hard. Not intending to be dirty in any way there. But you do find within a week, 2 weeks of being on a diet, it starts easy. Oh, I can eat clean, no worries. And then it just digs away at you. And I'm quite a food person, and it is hard at times. You just want to feel full again. You just want to like come off of a big shift and go home and fucking plow a big dinner, or get a Chinese, or pick up Domino's. Like, it is the forefront of my mind often. And that's because I'm a very food-based person. So this is why it was key for me to do this. Because I imagine, and I know for a fact, many of us in the fire service are very food-based people. And this is why we get ourselves into the issue we do. So you also need to remind yourself of why you started this. Why are you looking to drop weight? Or why are you interested in just feeling a little bit better? Is it because it's began to affect your relationship? Is it because you no longer feel confident at home taking your clothes off in front of your partner? Is it something as silly as that? I say silly, but you might laugh, but it's a common thing. Is it the fact that you're doing day-to-day tasks and finding them harder now? You went for a walk with your kids and you're out of breath going up a small hill. Is it the fact that you're on shift and you're the one who's behind everyone? You're the one who's, struggling to put the ladder up. You're the one who's struggling to make a cylinder last like decent time in BA. This is why you probably started to try getting in shape, and you need to remind yourself of that sometimes. But if you manage to stick to things for more than 3-4 weeks, you actually begin to see some good changes. You'll notice in the mirror, you're looking different. People start making little comments like, you dropped a little bit of weight, you're looking a little bit thinner. And that spirals it on. So the time where you get those demons pop up and you want to pick up the Domino's on the way back from the day shift that's been really busy, or you just want that McDonald's drive-through. Oh, it's looking at me. After a busy night of getting in and out of the bed, you just got to think that 3-4 minutes of pleasure eating, maybe 10 minutes if it's Domino's, it's nothing compared to that compliment in 3 or 4 weeks' time when someone looks at you and goes, "Oh, you look different." Or when you're walking through the gym and you kind of catch yourself in the mirror and you have to go back and look again. Like, it's a feeling that's much better than the feeling after you've eaten the Domino's. I can tell you that for nothing. And once you've lost 7 kilos, you can then keep it off. You just got to learn how. You can then bring back in the treats. You just have a bit more balance and you have a bit more understanding of what's in things. So this has turned into a bit of a pep talk, and it's because it's a thing that I remind myself every day. Again, I'm a foodie. So when I'm hungry and I'm craving things, I can have them. I just can't have them right now. And I imagine on Instagram, you watch me put up pictures of Greek yogurt again or tuna omelettes. And you think, it's just not, life's too short for that. Yeah, but it's only temporary. This is just the fastest way, and this is what this whole series is about. It's the fastest way to get into shape while working in our job. It's not forever. You get down to a weight that you're really happy and you've got a really good physique. You can then bring back in the foods that you love. It's just about getting back down to that firefighting fit weight. Fire fitness weight. You know what I'm trying to say. It's the hard work is getting down to it, and then comes the fun of being able to stick and maintain at that. And not only that, but then build up, then add to your frame, build the muscle back in, focus on the strength and the power, whilst keeping that really nice physique that you've spent 12, 24 weeks, depends on where your starting point is, I guess. But where you've took that initial sacrifice, it will last long term, but you just need to accept that there's a bit of sacrifice. So, I didn't choose the toffee latte chose me, but I wouldn't typically have picked that because at the moment I'd rather have more food later on. And again, this is the idea of what we're doing here. It's showing you exactly how you can find good physiques while working shifts, while being busy on your rest days, while having kids and all sorts going on. Preparation, keeping to a plan, having a plan fucking to start with would be a good step. And yeah, I've got myself all rolled up now. Lucky I'm going to the gym, isn't it? So let's head on the way. I can finish my latte en route. I'm full of Greek yogurt. And I'm ready to go. Oh, it's a deload week as well, but I'll explain that to you in a minute. I think that's enough coffee for one morning. We ought to have something a little bit different. So, the undisputed king of fizzy drinks, really. Except for regular Dr. Pepper. Now, I don't know if that's a rogue answer or not, but that is the fucking top tier. There's just nothing better. But, you know, calories, sugar. Gotta have it as a treat. I bet you can taste that just watching, can't you? So, deload weeks. What are they? So this week is what I call a deload week. Now what that means is it's a week of slightly less intensity, slightly less volume to allow your body to recover. Without getting into the nitty gritty principles of training, over time you build and you build and you build. This is where you add weight, you add reps, you add volume, and you adapt and you overcome and you essentially build. But there comes a point where fatigue also builds. So not only are you getting stronger, bigger, faster, better, fitter, but then the fatigue is also rising. And there comes a point where the fatigue means you kind of plateau off. So you've probably heard of plateaus. You probably, had weeks where you just feel burnt out, rubbish, stuff like this. Now, typically people they don't ever train hard enough to really plateau. Most people do 2 hard weeks in the gym and go, fuck, I'm plateauing. You're not, you've just had a week where you're just a little bit tired. But unfortunately in our job where we don't sleep particularly well most of the time, if you're on call, then you get called out a lot in nights. Again, disrupted sleep, disrupted eating patterns, all this sort of stuff does basically mean that your fatigue can build quicker. If you're not emphasising the recovery side of things, so your sleep, your general sort of rest, active recovery, things like sauna, swimming, gentle exercise, all this sort of stuff goes amiss. If you're a high level athlete, you get all this. You get massage, you get everything. So it takes a lot longer for them to plateau. But then they are training harder. But point is, it's something that is in my plans because I feel the need to make sure that I have a week every now and then where everything's just a little bit less, I recover more, sleep well, then in the next few weeks we can hit it hard. I'm currently on week 9, and I know I've got this wrong in previous weeks. This is definitely week 9, and it's Wednesday, so halfway through week 9. What am I down? Down about 6 kilos, and ideally I've got another 6 to go, and this is where I'm going to push harder. The start of the plan was a little bit mixed matched with rugby tour, holiday, all this sort of stuff, and it kind of slowed the progress. Whereas now I'm rolling, I'm on full tilt. I'm just going to go for it, and I'm going to aim to get that down to roughly 70 kilos. Speaking of active recovery, it's time to take the dog for a little walk, and then we've got some more reels to film this morning. Lunchtime. Kitchen reels have been filmed, so we're now tucking into a quick bit of lunch. I had the protein yogurt on the way to Lidl. Now I've done this, I'm going to sit down. I've got a meeting quickly with someone, a little catch up, and I'm going to have a tin of tuna with a little bit of light cheese in there, a bit of light soft cheese, which has been lush. So nothing too heavy, quick, easy. I know it's Not very glamorous eating it out of the tin, but it is what it is, isn't it? And then we're going to have a nice coffee after, and that'll set us into the afternoon. Oh, it is evening, and I completely forgot that tomorrow I've got conversion day for my driving. So I've done the LGV theory, done it in a truck, like a normal LGV truck, and now I've got to do a conversion to a fire truck tomorrow, which is cool, should be a good day. But I didn't realise I had to do an e-learning before I went tomorrow. So guess who's come up in their evening to do the e-learning? And guess what? It was about 4 minutes long. It was not like all that bad, but coming all the way up here, getting signed on, getting everything done for a 4-minute e-learning. God's sake. Anyway, that's done. I think I may have to quickly nip to the shop and get something for tomorrow, because again, this snuck up on me. I completely forgot, and I don't have much ready to take with me for food. So we better make a quick trip, I think.